I guess we'll start with the first stat.
Yeah, so sales are down 12.6% from last month. That is a huge jump.
That's big. That's 10%. And just as a clarification, like that's the amount of sales. That's not the price.
Yes, exactly.
So, which is, you always see these headlines of like the market's down, the market's down, and like, yeah, sales are less, but you know, the price hasn't dropped that much. But I mean, that's a 12.6 over 10%. That's
I mean, this is a national average,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah, well, it's much lower than the Hamilton one is down like 24%. So when you put it in comparison, we're almost double that.
Yeah.
And then the average price is down 6.2% across Canada.
Yeah, and what that kind of looks like from February, so we're at about 746,000 from 816,000.
The average price. And the reason we're talking about February is just because that really was the peak. That's where things hit the highest, and then the interest rates started hiking, and we started to see this decline. So just from February, we went from 746, and so that's an 8.8% drop since February in the average price.
Yeah, and I think when this episode releases, the interest rates are going to be changing again.
Yeah, it will actually. They would have announced them. So
we're really going to see.
We'll talk about that next week, I guess. But in terms of average price, even though we're down 8.8% since February, we're down 6.2% from last month. We're still up 7.4% from the same time last year. Yeah. So even though we're seeing down, people that bought last year, you're still up. The house, the equity you made in the last couple of years, you still retained it, right? But we'll see what changes when the interest rate hike comes.
Exactly, and we're sitting around a 2.2 month of inventory, which, believe it or not, it's still a seller's market. Houses are still selling.
It is. And again, for those of you that haven't watched previous episodes, just quick description of what the months of inventory is. It's basically how long it would take every active listing on the market to sell without any other listings coming up. So right now in Canada, if every house sold that was listed, it would take 2.2 months. To put that into comparison, we were at like 0.8 months, which is like 3 weeks. So it's really gotten up there. Yeah. And then anything under 3 months of inventory is a seller's market. So we are almost at that balanced market, right? Which would be awesome. And then the largest decline was actually led by the GTA, but they're saying that's because just the sheer size, right? Yeah. The population.
Yeah, and don't forget they're slightly easier sales. There's a lot of condos in there, lots of construction.
For sure. And then the only exceptions, which I actually couldn't believe to see this, but Victoria, Montreal, and Halifax, their sales actually went up.
Yeah, I believe it. Because my mom lives out, and my whole extended family lives in Halifax, and I'm hearing it from them a lot. It's because it's still relatively cheaper there. So when pandemic hit, people could work from home. They all kind of migrated to these cheaper areas. That's just my theory, but
no, that's a good point.
That's what my mom said, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about, I guess, the number of transactions. So there's still a high demand, but I mean, we're down 26% from the same time last year. So just the amount of transactions, just to give you, so I know we talked about the monthly decline being down 12%, but Canadian-wide, we're down 26% for the time last year. And so, I mean, it's got to be the interest rates. So what else is the explanation?
Yeah, but this stat kind of shocked me. We're still in the third highest April for demand, behind 2016 and 2021. So we're still
up there.
It's still high demand. It's just everyone's kind of freaking out with the rates.
Absolutely.
Taking down.